In this video I will show you some of our best tutorials of 2024.
Before we start the video, go into the first link in my description and it will redirect you to Elements Envato. The subscription there is super cheap and affordable for video editors. Get the best stock footages, fonts, templates, effects and everything any graphic designer or video editor could possibly need.
Here are all the videos from this year. Now we will show you some of our best tutorials of 2024. Enjoy the video.
Drag and drop the default title to our timeline. Change the font to Velderin Italic. And increase the size to 90%. Type flat media in the Our text layer. Let's now copy and paste this text layer. Move it just like I did and remove the text media from it. Make sure that the flat text is under the flat media text layer. Change the font on the flat text to Velderin Italic line. And change the font color to yellow. Now let's adjust it a bit so it looks modern. Perfect. Now let's copy and paste the flat media text layer once again and move it like I did. I will remove the flat and keep just the media text, change the color to yellow. Now let's add the diagonal in transition on the flat media text layer and on the media text layer as well. And for the flat text layer we are going to animate it using keyframes, and add a keyframe for the whole transform section and also for compositing. Adjust the X position just like I'm doing on the screen, and scale it down to around 60%. Now move this keyframe here. Let's now move our cursor forward here. And set everything back to normal. Automatically this will create our second keyframe. And after this we are going to open our keyframe panel, select all the keyframes, and click on this. We've added an ease into our keyframes. What this means is that our animation will start slowly and the animation speed will increase at the end of the animation. This is our preview. So firstly what we are going to do is drag and drop the footages to our timeline. And after that we are going to take a snapshot of each one. Now let's remove the backgrounds on the snapshots. Double click on the snapshot and go to Smart Cutout. Now select the part that you want to keep from the picture and click on Save. Now take another snapshot from the picture without a background. Let's repeat this process for the other pictures as well. Now let's turn the pictures into paper. Drag and drop the first picture we removed the background from. Go to Effects and find the Paper Shape 04 effect. Drag and drop the effect to the snapshot. Now once again drag and drop the picture on the timeline. Make sure that the picture without the effect is on top. Let's now make the snapshot without effect smaller, and we have this. Now take a snapshot of this and repeat this process for all the elements you want to use in the video. Let's now organize our elements. Drag and drop the guitar guy to the timeline, right-click on it and create a compound clip. Let's name this Guitar Guy. Now click here and go into the Guitar Guy compound clip. Go to the beginning and move 4 frames forward and slice the picture there. Let's now adjust the X and Y position to 98% and let's rotate it 3 degrees. Now copy and paste it forward. Adjust the X and Y position slightly and rotate it slightly once again. Once again, copy and paste the picture and adjust copying what I do. Now select these 3 clips and copy and paste them a lot of times. With this we have the collage animation done for the guitar guy. Let's go back to our main timeline and do the same thing to the other elements we want to use. I've added the colorize effect just to give it a consistent color correction. Now let's add the beginning animation. Let's move all these layers to the right, go to stock media and drag and drop the solid black color. Let's drag and drop the default title and change the font to Retroma Vibes Regular. I got this font from Elements Envato. I will leave a link in the description from it. I will type Flat Media here. Now let's go to transitions and find the paper tear transition 20, drag and drop the transition between the black color and the text layer. Let's place the other layers a bit to the left so the transition doesn't start out with black. Now that looks perfect. Let's drag and drop our card to the timeline. I've created my own card. Now let's drag and drop the default title to our timeline on top of our card. Let's as well add a white background from the solid colors. Double click on the text and let's change the color to black and use the BN Dime font. Type whatever you want the text to be around the card. Now go to Advanced and scroll all the way down until you see Shape. Let's enable Shape and choose this one. Now let's make the circle smaller and find the position for it. Now copy and paste the card once again and place it on top of our text. Double click on it and let's add a mask. Adjust the mask accordingly. And now it looks like the text is going behind the card as well. Let's now
animate
the text, double click on it and go to Advanced. Go to Loop and choose the Rotate in Place Loop animation. That looks good. But I need to adjust my mask a bit. Let me do that. Now that looks perfect. Let's delete the white background and select these 3 layers. Right-click and create a compound clip. I will call it Flat Media plus Rotating Text. Now let's bring back the white background, and as you can see we can now move this whole clip around. Go to Transitions and let's add the Grid Transition 04 and add it to our compound clip. That looks good. Now go to Effects and let's add the Noise Texture effect and adjust the effect copying what I'm doing on the screen. That looks perfect. Now go in the effects and find the corner pin effect. Drag and drop it into the compound clip and let's play around with it. Now let's copy the corner pin effect from our compound clip and let's paste it to the arrow. In this part I'm adding some text and some transitions to make it look even better. And lastly, let's add the smart color effect. And we are done for this video. Here's the final result. Like the video. Drag and drop your footage to the timeline. I got this footage from Elements Envato by the way. Now double click on it and let's do a basic color correction. Go in light. Let's make the exposure 20%. Make the brightness 10%. Contrast 100%. Adjust highlights to 59%. Move the shadows to 14%. And make the blacks 57%. Let's change the contrast to 14%, it looks better that way. Now let's adjust the color, copy what I'm doing. And with that we are done with the basic color correction. Let's now compare. That looks much better. Let's now add the Smart Color effect. Drag and drop it to the timeline. Double-click on the effect to adjust it. Adjust highlights to 76.33%. Increase the shadows to 14.08%. Make the brightness 3.43%. Increase the contrast to 43.43%. Increase the saturation to 21.89%. Now let's add the black gold style effect. Double-click to adjust it, and copy what I'm doing on the screen. Okay, this is final with this effect. Now let's add a cool title. Drag and drop the default title to the timeline. In this part I'm just playing around with the text and realized that it looks cool like this. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. Get your Filmora 13 today, and don't forget to subscribe to Elements Envato. Peace. So, firstly what we're going to do is let's get a default title. For example, let's type in here Flat Media. Let's change the font to something cooler, as always. And let's say we want to animate this text. Let's say we want flat to come from the left and we want media to come from the right and they meet in the middle, and this should be our final scene. So what we will need to do is we're going to drop them into two. Let's type in here flat, here just media. Put them on top of each other. Now let's adjust them. Let's adjust the position. Okay. That seems right. So, what we want to do now is let's go here into the keyframe panel. Go to the video and let's play around with, let's add a keyframe for the whole transform and for the compositing. As well add a keyframe on the second text, a starting point. And let's move this all the way up here. Let's do the same for media and let's move it all the way to the right. Now let's go a few frames further and let's bring them back. And as you can see now, the keyframes are very still, nothing is happening. It's like it was before with the keyframes in Filmora. It's not smooth at all. We don't have any movement here, but the new feature in Filmora, what they added is these keyframes. You select them, let's say for the first text for media, and we can add a line. This is basically the same as Easy Ease in After Effects. But here they made it a lot more simple to use and you can just select your keyframes. Let's say we want an ease in. What an ease in means, it will start slow, and then it will arrive fast. And see the difference now between the text media and flat. Do you see how smooth that is here? This animation, how smooth is the media animation and how generic the flat animation looks. We want to ease in. And now the animation looks way more smoother and way more cooler. Now we have different types of, we can make it ease out. Ease out is better for ending animations, but it still looks cool. We have a line, just a line. It goes faster, then it arrives slower. Then we have this type of animation, which is curve.
Like the video, subscribe to my channel, get your Filmora 14 today, and don't forget to subscribe to Elements Envato. Peace.